And I remember sitting there thinking, if I give up, what a waste, because I've come too far.
Welcome back, you guys, to Faith Foundry. I got a special guest here, Jeremy Grogan, and you can follow him on his YouTube channel. I'll give some links and plugs to that later, but I mainly had him here because he's had some radical success in multiple areas of his life, and I wanted to discuss some of them with him, kind of get a play-by-play of what God's done, of what just some encounters that you've had, specifically in the areas of tobacco, and also with this season of going through jobs and stuff like that. And so let's just dive in. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first kind of question is, I wanted to go through the season you've been walking through with sobriety with tobacco. And I know there's some things you've shared with me, some encounters you had, even with video games, of how God's given you some strategy, new perspectives on how to look at things when it comes to sobriety. And so if you want to go ahead and start, like, what got you started on wanting to, if you want, actually, let's start, like, when did tobacco come in?
Well, so tobacco has been in my life since probably the age of 12 or 13. I remember my sister and I going to Shopko and the grocery stores that we had when we were kids. And we would go to the cigarette ashtrays and we'd walk by and we'd sneak them. And then from there, a friend of mine, his parents smoked, but he didn't ever end up smoking. I don't know why, but he let me steal packs of cigarettes out of their freezer.
Oh, gosh.
And so then it became this thing, and at first I faked it, and then eventually I actually started inhaling.
Okay.
So about 6th grade, just a little after 6th grade, full on in 7th grade, and that would be when I had friends that their parents smoked and actually let my friends smoke, and so then I would smoke. Yeah. And really from that age of 7th grade on, tobacco would really just be a regular part of my life.
Yeah, generationally, it sounds like. Just
well,
not just
my parents never smoked or anything.
But definitely being around it, or at least had friends that were around it, and stuff like that. But and then obviously that leads up to now, on your sobriety date you have now, and then so it described to me what got you to want to stop. Like,
well, I wanted to stop for a long time, and here's how it works. Just in general in my life, all the way through my non-believing life, even into my believing life, alcohol, pornography, and tobacco would just grip me. And so tobacco being the first thing, and then pornography being the second layer, and then alcohol being that third layer. Yeah. And if I could get some sobriety from alcohol, I just wouldn't be able to get out of pornography. But I would try for alcohol, and I'd get some time there. Then I would then go for porn, get some time there. But the moment that I tried to quit tobacco, I would get triggered once, and then tobacco and porn and alcohol would all come back. And so for about the last whole 6 years has been really the strongest effort that I've made towards all of those. So at this time, I have about just a little over a year and a half, almost 2 years free from alcohol, and somewhere around a year from total freedom from pornography. And I don't know the actual date for tobacco, but I've got about 3 months, probably just a little bit longer than 3 months of tobacco. But there's a success that I'm experiencing right now that I've never experienced, and this one's done. I mean, I can speak confidently because there was just a point where I said enough is enough, and I've gone too far.
Yeah. I know that you've had encounters too. Since your awakening, like what you talked about, something that we all experience, that born-again experience, there's been specific parts of your journey, and I know specifically around like a year and a half ago, and that's kind of like when the alcohol thing fell off, when you're like, you know what? I'm a son of God.
Yeah.
Everything else was kind of stripped away. A lot of this just stuff that was just stuff was being stripped away, and God was like, I just want you. And I feel like that's also kind of when a lot of this journey started towards getting towards tobacco. And then I know like what you said, enough's enough. And I know one of the big parts that started this journey too is starting our groups, our men's meetings.
Absolutely.
You were getting really plugged in, really connected. You started wanting to say things like, I want more of God. Like, I know how important it is to want more of God. And as soon as that journey started, the fruit followed, and then the desire followed, and then God encountered you one night when you kind of decide, you know what? I don't want to take the words out of your mouth, but when you were kind of like, you know what? I have to do this. I'm too far into wanting more of God to not want to be clean and sober. So I don't know if you know where that was and where I'm leaving you off at.
Yeah.
But
that's the Roblox.
Yeah, it's the
story.
Roblox. That's the Roblox story.
Roblox. Roblox. My kids.
Yes.
Got me on that.
Not sponsored.
So before, let me go back real quick to a year and a half ago when I got my sobriety from alcohol. So I've had lots of different moments of sobriety, and over the last 10 years, I have drank much, much less than the previous decade. But I just struggled with getting long-term sobriety and absolute, complete, so it's not like I spent the last 10 years of my Christian life just drinking all the time or thinking it's okay. But it was, for me, that's you get triggered, and then that's my coping mechanism. Yeah. What happened a year and a half ago that changed everything for where I'm at now is I had I'll call it my last relapse, and I was in a very dark place. And my wife had left the house. She wasn't leaving me totally, but she got the kids, and they all left the house because I had some alcohol at the house, and I was just refused to stop. But out of my drunken stupor, I remember laying on one of the beds in the house, and I woke up to a phone call from my dad, my actual real biological father, and he was just speaking life into me. And he had every right in life to just be like, is this the last time? Have you thought about what you're doing? Your kids and your wife are not at the home. Instead of condemning me, he literally just spoke life into me, just like my mentors here at Faith Foundry, which was not something that's typical of my family. But my dad is walking into some things and walking in some favor and blessing that is new for our whole family, well, myself and my dad. And so he just speaks life into me, and tears just start rolling from my eyes. And I'm telling you, my mind was going in a very dark place, and he revived me through that. Through a few days after the relapse, I just came back, and I was full of life. And so that set actually the stage for me to have the continued sobriety that I have today. Then it set the stage for 6 months later, getting free from porn for real. And that set the stage for tobacco. And here's the Roblox story, because I remember this very clearly. So I had all my daughters at the house. A couple of them lived with their mom. And I had Allie and Peyton and Melody and Zoe all at the house together. And we were playing Roblox. And Peyton, she's 13 now, she said, "Dad, you want to play Roblox?" And so I jump on Roblox. Allie jumps on Roblox. Everyone jumps on Roblox. And we're playing a game called, it's an obby. For everybody, obby means an obstacle course, but they call it an obby. So there's Roblox people out there that can be like, oh, I know what that is. So we all start this Roblox obby, and it is a whole kind of it's a map, right? So in video games you have maps. Well, this map has 250 separate obstacles. And I remember we all get in there, and we all get up to somewhere around level 70. And then one of my daughters quits, and she's done. And then another one quits. And now it's just Dad. I'm playing an obby. And I'm like, well, I'm going to beat my kid. I want to complete the obby. So they end up all going to bed around level 135. And then I'm like, and it's like 1 a.m. So I'm like, I'm staying up until this thing's done. Well, later that night, I get stuck on like level 200 so there's 250 levels, but I'm way up there. I'm like on level 200 or 217 or something. And I can see the end, the last level from where I'm at. But I'm stuck, and my little guy I can't complete this level. And I get so frustrated. And then, in fact, I'm there for an hour on this one little level. And I remember sitting there thinking, if I give up, what a waste, because I've come too far. I'm more than halfway done with this course, right? And I've come way too far to just give up. And I get stuck there, and I'm getting kind of frustrated because I'm like, it's starting like 4 a.m, dude. I end up actually staying up to like 5 a.m. to complete this hobby. And somebody actually starts the game and finishes it all in the time that I'm sitting at this one level. Well, something breaks, and eventually I just don't give up. And then I end up completing the course. And then at the end of this, I realized that the Lord was teaching me a lesson. First of all, I had gone way too far to give up. I'm on the other side of the hill. It's actually, I have so much momentum that it makes more sense to, even though it's late, I'm like, if I quit on level 217 and I wake up the next day, I'm gonna have stayed up all night and wasted everything, right? Because I'm not even gonna have the joy of finishing the level. And so, but it also showed me that my kids were all playing the game up until it was, all the way through the easy levels, and then they gave up when it started to get challenging. And so this was a demonstration to me in my sobriety that I just come so far. But it was not so much work. It was just I had to sit in that realization that I had just come so far, and it gave me peace. It was just this level of peace that I had about being able to enjoy sitting there for an hour, right, trying to just tackle this level. And then once I got through it, I was like, whew. And then from there, it was awesome. And once you finish the level, the last level lets you do all this cool stuff, and you get all the cheats. And now you can play the level, and you can fly around and do whatever. But you have to finish the course to get all those extra benefits.
Yeah, that's awesome. The key parts that I took away from that was that you recognized where you've come from, even in the middle of. For example, like right there, you were very fresh in being clean and sober off of tobacco. You only had like a week.
Like a week.
And that's very fresh. But you were still able to reflect. So that's like key one. You're able to reflect on where you've come from. You're able to reflect on where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
Because you saw the end. You saw that God had something for you on this other end. Like you didn't know what it was, but you knew I had to finish this out. I have to get past the struggle and just not give in. And I feel like it's the biggest thing that a lot of us, and some of you guys out there can relate to, that maybe you've had success in some areas of your life, but you know that there's more. And this is encouraging to know that people have gone through it and there is more. And I know what you've experienced since saying, you know what? I can't give up now because I know there's more on the under end of this sober thing. I know God has something more for me besides just sobriety and the awesomeness of knowing that I'm sober. There's more than that.
Absolutely.
Like there's some fruit, there's some doors that get open, there's some favor that happens, and I know because I can speak from experience just seeing your life. I know that is true because the moment you've said yes to this, like full bore, like there was a commitment a long time ago where you were like, I am not going to touch tobacco no matter how much it hurts me.
Absolutely.
I am not going to. And with that commitment, I've seen fruit in your life that I have never seen before. And I know you can say the same thing.
Yeah.
And that comes through, and that's fruit in areas like not that long ago. I mean, you've only been clean and sober for what? What's your clean date right now?
I don't know the date, but from tobacco, it's like 3 months.
3 months. Only 3 months. I've seen God bless you through the chance of getting a job at the police department and through that season, and which is a whole nother testimony we'll get to, which is radical. And then also God calling you to launch the Position Studios ministries. And that's something we're going to talk about here in a minute. And just kind of all this stuff, I know that's been a dream for you. God's just breathing life on. And giving you wisdom on, and you're handling it really well with lots of wisdom. And so this is probably where we're going to conclude this video, guys. It's probably where we're going to end this specific video on that. But just take those notes home. Just take that note that there is hope. There's always something beyond the struggle that's right in front of us. God has so much for us right past this. And Jeremy, go ahead and take a second. I know that you've launched this YouTube channel and some media platforms with your music and with the YouTube channel and a website you just launched and stuff. And just a lot of things that God's called you through what you call Position Studios.
Yep.
And I know I watch your videos. And I'm just giving everyone a plug here. Go subscribe to his channel. It's really quality stuff. It's totally our heart. And if there's anything you want to say about that.
So actually yesterday I launched my website, which is positionstudios.com. And I'm really going to try to make that the hub. So if everybody can go to positionstudios.com, right from there, you have links to everything else. So you can hit me up on Facebook. You can go to Twitter. I have Instagram. I'm not all my kids are like Insta, so I get the Insta thing right. I'm working on getting better on Instagram, and I have Reverb Nation and YouTube. So you can reach all those different places from the website. But we have the way that I want to fund the ministry is through my music. Now, my content is not about creating music, and I have yet to create any tutorials or anything. But if you go to the website, you can purchase music there. I am working on having my music put on iTunes, Amazon, all the big
Spotify,
stuff.
yeah.
It's all Spotify.
Yeah,
It's all going to be on there. And then also, if you watch any of the videos on my YouTube channel, there's also a link to Spreadshirt, which is my store, and you can get merchandise.
Yes.
I will be launching some new merchandise coming up so that you get the actual I Am Positioned. Right now, all you're going to see is Position Studios, and I know people are really wanting the I Am Positioned merch. So more to come on that. The last thing I really wanted to say for your viewers is there was a struggle with tobacco that just didn't go away, and it's the reason why I didn't ultimately quit in the last 6 years. And so, but this time when I said yes, and I said, look, I've gone too far and I'm done. It was hard for a little bit. Now it's getting easier. I don't wake up every day in sweats anymore. And I'm telling you, I just want to encourage you viewers that tobacco for me is the hardest one. It's harder than porn and it's harder than alcohol. Now, when I was in the alcohol, it wasn't easy to get out of. But once I was out of it for just a couple of weeks, it was a little easier. And then porn, it took a little bit longer, but now tobacco is the last thing. And I'm telling you guys, there's so much freedom getting out of tobacco because that's what is going to keep me from all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Come on. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And I just thank you so much for being willing to share. And I don't know if this part right here I'm talking right now is going to make it on YouTube, but we are planning on launching our own Spreadshirt. As Faith Foundry, you guys that are part of the Faith Foundry YouTube channel, we're planning on launching our own. We got a lot of Faith Foundry gear, kind of anything you can imagine. We even have socks, so you can be walking on the Word. And a bunch of funny stuff that we're going to try to launch. We just want to be able to have material that people can buy that you don't necessarily, like stuff we always kind of wanted, scripture-wise, or stuff that you want to see on a shirt that you can't necessarily find. You would have to go get it specially made or something. We want to be able to provide just some quality stuff. And so you could be looking for that in the description below if it makes it on this video. We'll see. Again, I just want to thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to bless you. I just pray favor over your life and over your family. And I know there's going to be even more testimonies we're going to talk about here soon over the rest of the stuff that you're walking through, which God's totally breathing on. And so thank you guys for watching. Please share, comment, subscribe. Go check out his channel. Go check out his stuff. Check out his website. And stay tuned, guys, for the next video. Thank you so much. Bless you guys. Amen.
See you guys.